As promised, here's my review of Split. Split! Now, Split came out a couple years ago. I actually wanted to review this movie on my channel ever since it came out, but I never had the time. But now that Glass is coming out, seems like the perfect time to finally review it. Now, Split was once again written and directed by M Knight Shyamalan, and when this movie came out, I was already done with the guy. Yeah, I did love The Sixth Sense, I did adore Unbreakable, and I really liked Signs. But after so many disappointments, I was just done with the guy. I was clearly one of the folks that was like, yeah, he clearly lost his magic. Luckily for me and a lot of people, Split was a welcome return to form, because this movie is quite amazing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What is this movie about? Anya Taylor-Joy and two other girls are being kidnapped by a guy who has severe multiple personality disorder, also known as DID. That guy is played by James McAvoy. So now he's keeping them hostage, and while we the viewers are introduced to more and more of his other personalities, there seems to be something more to this guy, because all these personalities seem to worship the so-called beast. And now we have an amazingly claustrophobic thriller, and I gotta tell you, this movie blew me away. First of all, we gotta talk about James McAvoy. That man is one of the most talented actors ever. I already loved him as Charles Xavier, but in this movie, holy shit. He nails every single personality, whether it's Patricia, the strict lady, Dennis, the kind of creepy but soft-spoken dude who suffers from OCD, or fan favorite Hedwig, the 9-year-old boy. He just nails all of these personalities. Every single time you see a new personality, you're like, yeah, this is definitely a new personality. And all credits go to James McAvoy, because it must be so hard to bring so many different characters to life within one film. But he did nail it. He was simply phenomenal. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy was simply fantastic. I already liked her in The Witch, even though the film itself wasn't my cup of tea, but she is just a great actress and a great discovery. And in this movie, she once again proves why she is so awesome. I also like the fact that her character gets a very rich and dark backstory, because she was the victim of abuse before. Her uncle used to sexually abuse her, which is why she knows from the get-go what to do. James McAvoy's character is also fleshed out a lot throughout the film. We learn why he is the way he is, and we learn a lot more about the twists and turns that determine the end of the film. And I will get to the end of the film, but not just yet. Now, this movie is how you do a claustrophobic thriller. Most of the film takes place in one location. It takes great cinematography and great atmosphere to keep you hooked, to keep the suspense and the tension going, and this movie absolutely nails it. Also, I like the character of the psychiatrist. She actually wants to help James McAvoy's character. She actually knows how to get the real person out, Kevin, because that is the actual identity. However, the Horde has taken over. She knows how to get him out, but she wants to help him, and she wants to help all the other personalities. I love the fact that she's such a caring person when it comes to her patients. And the actress herself, she redeemed herself because she was in the happening. Oh my god. This movie also wisely uses humor, but the humor never compromises the drama or the horror aspects. For example, Hedwig is just fucking hilarious because he's a 9-year-old kid. Every time he's on screen, he is kind of funny, especially his dance sequence. Loved it. But now I'm gonna get into spoilers, so if you don't want any spoilers, this is your time to turn off the video. This movie has two twists, and now I'm gonna reveal them. The first one is the fact that the Beast is actually real. There is a 24th personality called the Beast, and yeah, it's basically a mutant. It's something out of a comic book. He can crawl on walls, his skin is super thick, he can even withstand bullets, and he can bend metal. So yeah, it's basically a supervillain. That was a huge reveal, but when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that if I like that. Because everything leading up to it was more or less in the realm of reality. So now we're reaching a little bit. This is the realm of the supernatural. However, the second twist explains perfectly why it does make sense. Because this movie takes place in the same world as Unbreakable. Yeah, the last scene is actually David Dunn. He's watching the news where they talk about the Horde, and it reminds him of Mr. Glass. So now everything just makes perfect sense because this movie was already great. The movie was already great before the twist, but the twist itself makes the film better. It's even better the second time around because now we know that this film is the very first supervillain origin film we've ever had, and yeah, I love it. Once again, this is not really a comic book movie. I told you before, Unbreakable isn't really a comic book movie. It's more of a deconstruction of the genre. The same goes for this one. It's a claustrophobic thriller. The twist ending alone is the only connection to Unbreakable. But I gotta tell you, once they played James Newton Howard's theme song, the Unbreakable theme song at the end of the film, I was like, oh my god, it's back, and it makes so much sense. All in all, I gotta say, I love Split. I don't think it's as good as Unbreakable, but Unbreakable being one of my all-time favorite films, very few films are as good as Unbreakable in my humble opinion. But Split is epic, and I'm gonna say that Split gets a silver medal. So there you have it. I just reviewed Unbreakable and Split. I will be back for Glass because I'm gonna see it very soon. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and if you like what you see and you want to see more, then just subscribe.